I've been seeing this around on the internet. I don't know what the hell it is. Alexia spends a lot of time on TikTok, or every time I
No,
send
I
her. All right,
don't.
hold on. Let me give some context. Damn, calm down. Um, I will send her stuff on IG, and she'll be like, "I saw that 2 lifetimes ago. Like, you're late. Like,
Okay,
it was already on
guys, Chris
TikTok."
is one of those Instagram reels where he like sends me something and like TikTok showed it to me 3 weeks ago and he's like, "This is funny," and I'm like, "Ah, the Instagram, the guy that refuses to be on TikTok, no problem."
Well, that's about to get canceled. But anyways, I saw this and I didn't really look too deep into it because I was like, oh, let me ask Alexia about this. So maybe she can school me onto this because, like she just said, she finds out everything 3 weeks before I do. So I've been seeing this thing where it's like, it's called We Choose the Bear. What is that?
I'm dead. Wait, because you just asked me, right? Like if I had to die when my husband died or whatever, right? So it was like that's kind of funny that you're saying that. Wait, so you know nothing about this?
All I saw was like a meme. And the meme was basically this girl, and she's like something about we don't trust men, so we choose the bear. And then the guy in the meme says to her, okay, so then you understand why we don't want transgender women sharing the same bathroom with our daughters. And then the girl was just like angry, and that's all I saw. And I was like, but then I kept seeing this other bear stuff, and I was like, what is this bear thing
Oh,
about?
okay. I think the transgender one was like obviously very specific to that movement, but so the bear thing is pretty simple. I don't know if you're gonna find this funny, but there was like a not even a trend, but like this question, I guess in a sense went viral, and now it's become a trend where people were asking women, would you rather like be like I guess they worded it differently depending on whoever's asking it, but it's the basic premise is like if you were, I guess, in a forest, would you rather like stumble upon like a strange bear or a strange man? And women across the United States and maybe the world are saying I would rather run into a bear.
Interesting. What?
And the men are like obviously started being offended. They're like, why wouldn't you want to run into me? Why would you want to run into a bear? And obviously the women are like, it's safer. Like it's safer to run into a wild bear than a strange man. You disagree. Your face.
No, I don't
Explain.
disagree. I think a bear's crazy dangerous, bro. Like, you know what a bear could do to you? And man, I'm not
Yes,
saying,
but
and I'm not saying like, oh,
do
man
you know
can't do
what a
that to
man could
you.
do to you?
Oh, here we go. Here I walked right into that.
Also, wait, let me point out that like the bear might do something if you fucking provoke it. You don't gotta do shit to a man. You just gotta he just gotta look at you and he could wanna fucking murder you, fuck you, whatever.
My gosh, this took a dark turn.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I had no idea this was gonna go this deep. I was literally
But
just like,
that's what it
that's what
is.
it is. Wow. So
So
it's
there was literally
basically.
a bunch of memes, like you said, like women are
Mm-hmm.
like, I choose the bear, I choose the bear. There was literally this one woman that recorded the video. She did run into a bear, like on her way home, and she was recording and she was like, you see? This is fine. This bear doesn't care about me as long as I don't like care about it, like in a sense. So she like walked right past this bear and it's on video.
What the heck?
And she's literally like, if I was and then you see like people responding with stitches where men are like catcalling or like unprovoked, like just screaming, like whatever. Like men
Mm-hmm.
are, I mean, like animals in a sense. And okay, they're picking like they're recording the ones that are acting. I on the premise, I get it, but this woman literally walked through the forest, ran into two bears, and she's fine. Like
Well, she's lucky that the Cubs weren't anywhere nearby, because then it would just attack just on principle, just to protect them. But that's
why are
not the
you
point.
assuming that?
Because there's like countless videos of that where people are like not even anywhere near a bear. They're driving down a road and a bear's like in a field and it has their cubs and the person's driving by and the bear runs from the field and attacks the car just to protect the cubs. And the person's nowhere anywhere. They're in a car just driving by.
If that's true, and I'm not saying it's not, I'm just saying like that's a female mama bear, first of all. Second of all, there are still like statistics of cows killing more people than sharks annually. So when you say that, it's kind of just like, eh, you know what I mean? Like
I mean,
the cow to shark ratio, like murder ratio, was like wild and hilarious. But
I'm
like,
not. I'm not
okay,
saying it's
yeah,
like a likely thing that happens. All I said is she is lucky that there were no cubs around. That's it. I'm not saying, oh, well, she could have, she better die. No, I'm just saying she's lucky because in stuff that I've seen, that has happened. I mean, all praise be to God that there were no cubs
you
around
sound
and
crazy.
she.
All the girls listening to the podcast are like, cancel him! What a fucking idiot!
No, I'm just saying, like, I hope I don't run into a bear and there's cubs. I've seen a bear when I was
Okay,
younger,
but
and
you're
I've.
a man. So
What
as a
does that have to do
man,
with?
you're telling me
I'm
that
talking about
you'd
an animal.
rather. Are you crazy? You'd rather run into a strange man in the forest than a bear because you're a man.
I'd rather run into a person than a bear. Yes.
Exactly. Now this is where the like trend is like literally setting in.
Okay.
Because it's like, if you can, put yourself in my shoes. Like, if you can. And not just like, oh, you're a size 8. No, like literally like, if you were in a forest and a fucking man showed up out of nowhere in a forest, no less, would you
Okay.
rather see him or a bear? Like, legit. Because I said nothing about if the bear had cubs, if the man had a knife or a rope. You know what I mean? Like, no
I wasn't going
details.
to. I was just saying. You said that it literally happened. A girl walked by, two bears, and nothing happened. And I was just like, oh, okay. But she's lucky there was no cubs around because animals in general are known to protect their young from
And
people.
how many women have walked past men and been kidnapped, murdered, or raped and just didn't get it on video?
What?
How many, like statistically, how many maulings by bears do you think happen annually versus how many times men rape women?
I'm sure the numbers greatly outweigh them, but that's not the argument
That's
I'm
the
trying to
point.
make.
No, but that's the point of the meme.
That basically women feel unsafe with men.
1,000%. And the men that are supposed to protect us are protecting us from other men. They're not protecting us from saber-toothed tigers and, you know, Black Panthers.
Okay. I mean, I get that. Like, if I'm
And then the men
someone,
that are supposed to protect us aren't doing that anymore because they're in their soft guy era and they want to go 50-50 and they want to be
oh, here
one
we
of
go.
those, oh, you got to take care of me.
Oh, you're talking about that drizzle?
I'm not saying all men, I'm saying like most men. So, yes, if we were to make a YouTube video, go on the streets in New York and ask like 10 random women if they would rather see a bear or a man, like,
Mm-hmm.
unwarranted, they would all probably choose a bear. And if you said why, I mean, I'm sure you can deduce that they'd like, oh well,
No, like I understand it. It's just for me. I even if I was a woman, it's just like, damn. It's like my choice is death or death. Like either or. It's just like there's slim chances with both. That's all I'm saying. Like
that's crazy.
I'm just there are slim chances with both. I'm saying because if you run it to a man and based on what you're saying or what this meme is about, yes, the guy could want to kill you. This guy could want to rape you. This guy could want to mug you. But there's like in this scenario, I guess,
Yes, but
a five
again, what I
percent
mentioned
chance.
before, no. What I mentioned before was
Okay.
the bear would have no reason to maul you unless you gave it one. The man doesn't need a reason. The man would just look at you and be like, "Oh, you're out of my league. I'm gonna stab you," or "Oh, you look like you have money. I'm gonna," or what I'm saying, whatever they think. The bear's not gonna be like, "Oh, you too skinny. I'm gonna kill you because you skinny." Like, that doesn't make any sense. The bear would only protect itself, or like you said, its cubs, right? The man's not protecting shit. The man is looking to bust his own, or whatever.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I guess I don't want to get into details because I don't really think it matters. I feel like I'm just pinned into a corner, so it's like no matter what I say, it's like
Why is
okay.
that a corner? You asked about the meme, and I'm trying
No,
to
no,
tell
no, no.
you, like, I would rather run into a man. Like, yeah, because you're a man.
I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just okay. I understand the meme. I saw the bear around. Okay, that bear meme around. So I'm like, okay, I get it. And to me, it's just like, wow, that's really wild because I don't know. To me, when I think of a bear, I primarily think of it as something dangerous. But if you want to get technical, there are black bears, brown bears, and then there's grizzly bears. The one I would not want to run into is a grizzly bear. They're
You're taking it
predatory,
way too
territorial.
far.
I
The
know, but
point
I'm
is,
just saying if we're getting that deep, right? So my point is, I understand the meme. I understand what they're trying to come at. Men are horribly worse creatures, so you better not run into them because they'll just fuck you, rape you, do whatever. So you're better off running into a wild animal. So I get
but
it.
that's the point. They're at this day and age, they're more dangerous than even a bear. And that's what we're trying to say. Like, it's not like if I really had to choose, right? Like, go left and meet a strange man, go right and meet a strange bear. Like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like, well, is there option C or what? Like, I get it.
So you
But
also would choose the bear?
yes, because I'm not going to provoke the bear. What?
Hmm.
It's not like I have to go up and give the bear a high five and run away. Like,
So all right, just so I understand, because I get it. So it's almost like, all right, I'd rather take my chances with the bear because there's a 50-50 chance
yeah,
there
that's
where
what
the
the women are
bear
saying.
might kill me and it might not. But with a guy, if I ran into some random dude, it's basically a 90 to 10% chance. There's a 10% chance the guy's a nice guy and he's just hiking and he won't
Well,
do nothing.
or
But
it's
there's
more so like it's a 50% chance every moment. So like he can
hmm.
change his mind and make a decision based on the way I look, the way I walk, the way I talk,
Okay,
what I'm
Kendrick.
wearing. I hate the way that you walk. I hate um but yeah, so it's a 50-50 with the bear, like flat in a sense, but with the man, a strange man, it's a 50-50 every 90 seconds.
Gotcha. Hmm. I mean, like I said, I'm not a woman. News, spoiler alert.
Obviously.
But like, I guess for me, it's like I'd rather run into nothing in the woods, but I would rather run into a person because after a while, it's just like, all right, like, am I lost? I need some civilization to know I'm heading in the right direction. But from a woman's
Yeah, but
perspective, I
again, you're a
understand
man.
it.
Yeah.
Y'all feel
And again,
defenseless.
it's not like we're like, oh, like fuck men, I want more bears. No, it's literally like you guys need to realize how severe, like how crazy it is, how unsafe we actually do feel. Like it's not really. Again, I'm not dying to run into a bear, but like the point is, we feel unsafe around a majority of you guys, and you're just laughing about it.
No one's laughing. I'm not. I'm just trying to
Well, it's a
understand it.
meme. It's intended to be funny, but what I'm saying is like like haha, it's haha funny, but like the overall story is it's actually really sad how like we don't feel safe with men.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't really have any comment on that then. So I guess it's like it's a real dark meme. I mean, because I just feel like if I say anything because I'm a guy, it's mansplaining or I don't understand or whatever. So I'm just like,
Well, not really. This is your podcast. If you have something to add, please.
I don't really have anything to add. I just want to understand what that was. I'm like, okay, like it just is what it is.
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's what I was saying. Like, it's a very quick answer, so it really depends on like how you take it. But
yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't really think too much about these things. It's just like, all
and
right.
that's like kind of nice, right? That you don't have to. Like, I mean, not to take it like too far, but like even today, I had like a water a water pipe break, and a strange man came to my door, and he was just like, oh, I need you to move your car. And I was like, yeah, no problem. But I don't know, it was like he didn't do anything to like, he wasn't trying to come on my house or make me feel uneasy or whatever, but like, he gave me like this sort of unwarranted attitude, and I was like, did I do something to you? And then he did it again, and I was like, okay, it's not in my head, like this is crazy. But like, you don't have to think about that shit. And even if you did, you as a man are probably like, yo, you good, my guy? And then like fight him on the street. Like, I'm
Oh,
not doing that.
so let me ask you something. Just as a woman, what do you think is a possible solution for this? Do you think men should just avoid women so this way they can feel safer?
Of course not. I think men as being protectors, again, most of the, especially nowadays, they're only protecting us from other men. So like if men didn't weren't predators, there would be no reason to protect us from them. Does that make sense? But also then men can go back to protecting us in general because women are more emotional. and more like nurturing. So like men need to protect us so that we can protect you, like emotionally. But I think the solution, in a sense, would be like, stop attacking women, stop raping them, stop, you know what I'm saying, like uh fetishizing about them, stop threatening them, stop stalking them, and then maybe society could be like, all right, like the men in my life, I trust them, and I don't have to necessarily worry. But at the same token, like, not that it's not, I'm not saying it's women's fault, but like at the same token, women need to stop, like, I don't know, maybe in a sense, like escorting themselves and putting themselves in situations where, like, men can actually pay to be like dominant, or like, you know, pay to hurt them. You know what I mean? Like fetishes like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, but mostly it's men need to stop being so threatening, and then women, in a sense, need to stop accepting that. But it's easier, I guess, like to ask someone to stop doing something versus stopping their reaction to something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it needs to start with men. I mean, that's a huge ask, because even if like we all became like followers of Jesus, you know what I mean? There's still going to be probably that handful of motherfuckers that's like, oh, everyone's doing so, so good, no one's stealing. If we're the only ones stealing, no one's going to do anything because they're too good to stop us, and blah blah. Like there's always going to be greed and evil in the world.
Yeah.
It's never going to fully go away. But I mean, I guess if the majority of men stopped hurting and being predators to the majority of women, then we might actually feel safer, because there's still, it's 2024. Women still like walking after work to their cars or on the subway, like holding their keys, like having pepper spray, having a knife, like, you know what I'm saying? We're not doing that to attack other women.
Yeah.
We're
No.
doing that for self-defense.
No. I understand that. I guess for me, this is not like at all trying to like defend these men or whatever, because there's obviously pieces of shit out there. But it kind of makes me think of this quote that says Buddha heart, demon hand, because it's basically saying because the men that you want you to feel safer, they need to stop doing these things, right? But also the men that protect you from these kind of men also need to have the capability to of violence. So it's always going to be present. It's just they need to be able to have the discipline and the Buddha heart to control it. That's why it's kind of like demon hand, Buddha heart. Like a
But
good
yeah, they
person isn't somebody that cannot do any violence to you and therefore he's a good person. It's like he just doesn't have the means to it. But somebody who has the means to do violence but chooses not to, that's the kind of person you should have around. But like you kind of need those people that are capable of extreme violence but choose not to do so. Like so
I
it's always
never
going to be
said to get
present.
rid of violence ever.
Oh, thank
I
God.
But I'm saying, like, you don't need to do that towards women. We're already smaller, we're already weaker. You don't need to be violent towards us,
Yeah,
but you
no,
can be violent towards
but
other men.
but what I'm saying is that I guess my question is that even if that possibility or threat of violence is there, even if it's not at you, but you see it present in this man at other people, wouldn't you say that would still kind of instill some kind of fear in you? Like if you were with your man and he just beat some dude to a bloody pulp to
No.
death, like in front of you?
Only if he had no self-control, which is actually also rare these days.
But
Self-control
so
is
you're saying
very
like if
rare.
you were with your man and the guy tried to hit on you and he literally beat a dude to death in front of you, you would be like, good, he protected me. You wouldn't be like, whoa,
That's not
like you
self-control,
went too
Chris.
far. That's what I'm saying. That's
No,
what I
now
mean.
you're
Like
trying to
that.
make me look crazy. That's not
No, I'm just
self-control.
saying that level of violence. I'm using an extreme example because I'm just like that violence is
No,
still going to be
because
somewhat present.
no, because personally, that level of violence where you murder a man, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's not also not like, oh my gosh, like you're so protective, you're my man, wow, you killed someone for me, like that's not cute. But there's a difference between violence and strength,
No,
and the
I get that.
self-control and the strength, that's what I'm talking about. So
I get that. But I guess for me, like it reminds me of a conversation I had the other day because going back to on the last podcast we did, we were talking about like the rap battle, right? Like, oh, did it go too far because the kids and the family got bought into it, right? And one of my coworkers was asking me this conversation. He's like, "Oh, did you think they went too far because you battle rap? Like, do you have that?" And I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "I have morals and integrity. There's a certain line I will not cross." But there are people in this world that do not have that same morality. They will cross that line. They will become a savage. So you may be like, hey, my family is, off limits, but they don't care. They will do whatever they have to do to hurt you. So because of that, a man with integrity or morals may have to break his code and be a savage to out savage the savages, because at the end of the day you're trying to protect your family. And if you set yourself
Well,
up in a situation with an unpredictable person and you are predictable, you are purposely putting yourself in a situation you will always lose, because they know what you're going to do.
but you're not going to beat someone to death for hitting on your girl. If
No, I
your
know.
girl's life was threatened, then you threaten his life. That makes sense. Not for looking at her. So that's what I'm talking about, self control. And yeah, I don't want a bunch of soft men either. That doesn't help the economy. That doesn't help society. That doesn't help me in a sense. Like, we don't want the soft men either. But like, yeah, you can be soft with your wife or your woman, and then you can be hard pause with like
Wow.
the rest of the world.
For the rest of the world, be hard for the world. Pause. That's crazy.
Yeah. And again, everything's not really black and white, but like,
No, I know.
yeah,
Like I
I
said, I
never
was
said I
just
wanted
trying
my
to
man to be a full
understand it.
bitch.
No, I was just trying to understand it, because like the whole going back to the meme is that like women obviously do not feel safe, and I was like, okay, what is the solution to what men could do in order to make women feel safe?
Right. So how did my solution say to you that violence should disappear immediately and everywhere?
Well, no, I didn't say violence shouldn't, but I'm like, if that violence is there, because in that scenario, if you're running in a forest and you run to a man, there's a possibility
Yes,
of
but
violence
listen.
in multiple different ways, whether it be sexual or physical. So then
Yeah,
you
but
said
even
there are
if I had
men.
a man and let's say a girl was hitting on him, like another female, I
Hmm.
don't want him to beat her up either just because he's like, I'm loyal to Alexia. Fuck you, bitch, and like beat her up.
Oh,
Absolutely
that'd
not.
be crazy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I never said that violence should disappear immediately, and I'm saying like the only people that men are protecting us from are other men. So, but again, not just like a whistle at me. Like, if he has my life in his hands and my man comes and saves it, like, okay. And again, nothing's ever like superhero like that serious
Okay, no,
all the
so
time.
here's a question before I lose it, because maybe I didn't word it right. I guess my question is almost asking you as a woman, and I guess you kind of answered it, but it's like, if you see your man act in violence, because obviously that needs to be a part of his DNA in order to protect those that he cares about. He has to be violent at some point, shape, or form. There's never a part in your mind where you're like, oh man, like, will he ever act like that towards me if I push him over the edge?
There's a difference between violence and like strength, and this is again the self control thing. So the violence, I mean, he's a whole bitch if he's gonna start hitting me because he can, obviously. But and I also don't want like a gym shark where he's like super buff and like just picks fights with everyone on the street. Like that's not cute either. But when necessary, yes, I would hope that he would protect like me and our family in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
in the same way that I would protect it as well. Maybe not physically, right? So if he started like whooping someone's ass, I mean, personally, I can't speak for all women, but personally, that's not cute. That doesn't turn me on anyway. But I would hope that the man that I choose, I would like know with all of my being that he would never do that to me. And it's not like, oh, I would never give him a reason because like, a bunch of abuse victims like blame themselves, but
Mm-hmm.
more like, I mean, technically, no, I should not be giving him a reason. In other words, like putting my hands on him or threatening his mother or something crazy. I should never give him a reason. But also, even if like maybe in his mind I did, or he went psycho on me, or he like was sleep deprived or whatever, like this is where the maturity, strength, and self control come in. Like even if you're at the end of your wit and you're exhausted, you would never because you think I can't either. I mean, not like with my bare hands, but like you don't think I'm ever tired. You don't think I ever am at the end of my rope, or like you think I don't own a knife. You think I don't own a gun. Like you really think, and even though those are external like weapons, you can do it with your bare hands. I can use a weapon, but same result, right? So you should also trust in me that I would never do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if I had babies, which I don't want, but like I'd be mama bear. Absolutely. If a man or a woman came up to my kids and started whatever, I would absolutely ram their car and flip it on the highway. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
me
yeah.
too. Like,
No, I guess the only reason why I thought of maybe that extreme of an example because I know there's been like um incidences where like women have dated like fighters, like mixed martial artists, and the guy snapped one day and beat the shit out of her. But she was
those
attracted
men
to
have no
him.
self control.
Well, they had some kind of control, right? In order because it takes a lot of discipline in order to get your body in that kind of shape, learn those kind of fighting techniques. Like there's definitely a lot of discipline that takes to do that, even mentally.
No, that's discipline in the gym, not discipline with your mind. If you
Yeah, but
snap
it's still
and
a
beat your
level of
wife up,
discipline. But that's what I'm saying. Some
that's not the
people,
same.
I it's
Physical and
like
mental,
Alexia, you may see that as not the same, but there are other people that maybe are not operating that kind of frequency, and they can only go based on what they've seen. They're like, oh wow, this person is disciplined because they go into the gym, their body is in good shape. Oh, they're like really on top of their diet. Oh, and they practice like fighting. There's a level of discipline that goes into
that's a
that.
physical discipline. That is not the same as a mental
But
discipline.
it's still a discipline. And my point is that some people may
That doesn't
perceive
make
that
sense.
as just discipline. That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't matter. Because I could have discipline as well. But in not going to the gym, I could be like, oh, I'm going to be your trophy wife. I'm going to always stay a size 2 dress. I'm always going to be in heels. That's discipline too. But yeah, if I went psycho and put my heel in your head, that's
Well,
not
that's crazy.
discipline.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you don't get to know a person just based on first appearance, if you see a fat dude and you see a really in shape dude, automatically you're going to assume, oh, that dude is disciplined because he's in really good shape. That dude is not because he's fat. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So that's the only reason why I was just bringing that up because like I know incidences that happen. And it's like maybe they felt like that. Oh, my man's a fighter. He'll protect me. Like he's in really good shape. And then the dude just snapped and beat the shit out of them. Not saying
I
that's
mean,
like the
wouldn't you
norm.
say then that like men should also be protecting their wives from themselves if that's the case?
Oh, definitely. I definitely think you should have the mental discipline. And I think this is where the emotional maturity comes in. That if you find yourself in that kind of situation, just walk away or get quiet. But I
Right.
mean, this is me
And
talking to
most
all the
women don't.
guys. This is me talking to all the guys who are listening. So like, I don't want you to take this any certain way, guys. I know sometimes like our significant others when they're upset. Women like to push buttons. They kind of like to test you. They like to say things to really get you going because they want to test you. In that moment, just walk away. Just walk away. Even if you want to say something, if you want to snap, just walk away. Because maybe she wants to see you to react a certain way to see if you're going to break that discipline. I've met women that do test men like that. So I'm just saying, just walk away or just stay quiet and just remove yourself. Because
Yeah.
I've seen that happen.
And that's hard to do, but like you said, discipline.
Guess that's really it, right? Ending on a real dark note.
Not really.
Man, I guess. So I guess the point of this is for you guys. Lexi and mine going on a lot of tangents. There's a
Yeah,
reason
they do.
why the center of the earth and the water's not boiling.
Well, we figured that out. We still haven't figured out what the Earth would look like without any water. But
Yeah.
it might actually look as crazy as Darren Kuyu, which I showed you.
Mhm. Secondly, women unanimously choose a bear over a man, so men do better, and the ones who are not, just stay away from women and work on
Wait, that was a
yourselves.
great close. Yeah, so this is the decision men do better.
I mean, honestly, because look, when you were saying that, I was just asking questions. I don't know if you took it like I was, but like, oh no, I'm defend. No, because
No, but actually,
I
didn't it like break
understand
your heart
it.
a little bit? Like hearing that? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
of course. Because I tried to put myself in the shoes of like my mother or my sisters, and I'm like,
yeah,
like how would they feel?
right.
So like I tried to understand it from that. So I wasn't like, because at first I just tried to understand it as a person, like as a guy, like I'm able to protect myself. So to me, it's just like, well, if I ran into another dude, like I wouldn't mind that because
Exactly. You
I
didn't
could
even
take care of it
think about
myself.
what
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
parameters were
But
because
when
you were
you,
like, what?
yeah, but when I had to think about it, it's like, oh, as a woman, I'm like, I don't have the capability to defend myself in either situation. So I rather take it with the unpredictable, the wild card, which is the bear, as opposed to the men, because basically what it's saying is that based on women's lived experience and interactions with men on a daily life, it is proven that, hey, I'm safer just running into an animal as opposed to a logical thinking person who just sees me out here and may take advantage of that.
That's what I'm saying. The meme might be going too far, but like the reality is like actually really sad. But anyway, what do
It
you
is.
guys think? Would you rather run into a strange man or a strange bear?
This goes for
And
women and men. Y'all let us know. I already kind of know how this is gonna be split.
but yeah, men answer too. Why not? That's interesting. Um,
I know for me,
and
I'm
then
staying away from bears, bro. Hell no.
but don't stay away from ancient civilizations, which we should get into maybe next time,
That sound like the ending of an Ancient Aliens episode.
which is awesome.
My gosh. And yeah, guys, like have more discipline, not just physically, mentally. Let's do better. Let's make our
Men
women
and
feel
women, yeah.
safe. Yeah, women too. Let's, y'all don't have the physical aspects to. Well, I don't want to say some of y'all be
Wow.
beating the shit out of people, but like let's all work on our emotional maturity. I think we can all benefit from that.
Yeah, and maybe like trying to be a little less selfish sometimes. I mean, even us too, everyone.
Yeah, everybody.
But let's make the world a better place.
Okay, Michael Jackson.
Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Behind the Struggle, and tune in next week as we will try to have this long format, my many tangents, repeatedly.
Yeah,
And
let us know what y'all think of this.
yeah,
Do you like
thanks
these
for
random
clicking that play
topics?
button. And follow me on TikTok at Asexia and Instagram at Lexia_Lou. Okay, thanks.
All right, guys. You can follow me at the real CEO on IG, but all my links will be there and present if you just go to thisisceo.com if you want to listen to my music and everything. Until the next one, peace.